this evening. I know you probably all had a long day, busy schedules. So I'm going to make this worth your while. So what we're going to be talking about this evening, business finance basics. So for those of you that just are starting a business, maybe you're just starting out, or maybe you've been in business for a while and it's like, I need some more tools and tips to kind of help me go along. We're going to talk about all that this evening. Please, if you have any questions, put in the chat. We'll get to it at the end. And if it's something that maybe I can answer for you, I'll get the correct information for you and I'll follow back up with you. So give you a little bit about Truist. Well, first, this is me. So this is my email, my contact information. So if you have questions after the presentation, or maybe it's something you want to talk about one-off and don't want to talk about among the group, that's fine. You can reach out to me directly and we can chat that way. So I'll leave that for a couple more seconds. I see some of you are writing that down. All right. So you might have said, who is Truist? So Truist was an equal of mergers of BB&T and SunTrust. We've been in this market for now since about 2021 now, but our purpose at Truist is to inspire and build better lives and communities. So how do we do that? Perfect example, we're doing that this evening, sharing financial education and knowledge to help people with their goals. A lot of times as business owners, people look for information, education to help them. And sometimes you got to pay for it, or maybe you don't have those resources. We want to bring those free resources to you to help you be successful in your journey as a business owner. So, Truist celebrates small businesses. Think of yourself as the creators, the risk takers, the backbones of your communities. Think of us as a large bank. We're as big as you want us to be, but small as you need us to be. We do that community bank feeling to help you along the whole process. So we're going to hold your hand from the beginning all the way to maybe you making $3 million, $4 million, or maybe you have to buy multiple businesses. We want to help you. So it's three things that we focus on: scale the service, offering those needs for you, partnership, and commitment. So when you go in, you open your account and you open that business account and have a great day, that's not going to be the end. Let's just start that relationship. We're going to be with you along the way. And then expertise and resources. So think when you go to the doctor and maybe it's something the doctor can't do, they refer you to a specialist. Think of your banker as a doctor. And if there's things that you need as an owner, there's different specialists that can help you along the way. So that's how we focus on that. And bring all that together, we're one, and we help those communities be stronger. So what we're going to talk about this evening, three things: improving the cash flow of your business, continue to build and expand your business, and then protecting your business. Those are three things that we're going to focus on and talk about this evening. So let's focus on the first one, improving the cash flow of your business. So some things you want to ask yourself as a business owner: how long have you been in business? What are your annual sales? Where do you see your business in 5 years? And what do you need to know, do, or learn to get there? So maybe you have asked yourself that question before. Maybe you never thought about that. These are things that you want to keep in mind to ask yourself when it comes to running your business. All right. So some fundamentals for business growth. So as a business owner, do not compare yourself to other owners. Why do I say that? Well, each business is unique. So maybe you're running a flower shop, but someone else down the street's running a flower shop. How you run it and how they may run it, it might be two different ways, and that's okay. You don't want to compare. However, there are some things that every business owner is going to need. The biggest thing, you need a business bank account. I always say first impression is everything. You want to have that bank account to be able to run everything through your business through that bank account. You want to have access to credit. So we know that credit is a big thing as a business owner, whether you're looking to build credit, buy more credit, be able to purchase things, that's a big need. Insurance coverage, that's a very big one. As a business owner, you need insurance. We'll talk about that in the presentation. But here's some things that can help you be effective. Now, on the screen here, you might see a couple more things. So depending on what your needs are, you might need 1, 2, 3, or you might say, Reggie, you know what? I need all of these things. And that's okay. We can help you get to that point and guide you in the right direction to help you have those fundamentals for success and growth. All right. So What would you say, and you can put this in the chat, what are some common financial challenges for business owners? So whether that's one you've come across as an owner, someone you know, what are some things that you might come across? We can put those in the chat. Oh, I love that one. Not separating personal finances with business finance. Absolutely. That is a very big one. Thank you for that. Uh, no credit. Yep, no credit's a big one as well too. Taxes, yes. Um, poor credit. You guys are hitting the heavy ones. I love that. Capital, perfect. Yes. Okay, so those are some great call outs. So those are things that people see each and every day. Um, how to obtain financing. Okay, so those are some of the things that business owners may face. Um, so thank you for that. All right, managing your business cash flow. So cash flow is very important as a business owner. You want to be mindful of that. So as opening your business bank account, there's some things you want to keep in mind on the business side and your personal side. So with your business accounts, they help you do a couple things. One, helps you manage your business. Helps you understand and manage business cash flow. Do I have enough money coming in? Do I have too much money going out? Establishing a professional reputation. So let's stop there for a second. So it's a big difference. Let's say I own a landscaping business and the business name is Reggie's Landscaping. But when someone goes to pay me and it's like, okay, who I'm making the check payable to? Oh, make it payable to Reggie Barrett. And they're like, well, you have a business. So why am I paying it to you personally? Is it going to the business or is it going to you personally? So versus them saying write it to Reggie's Landscaping, there's two different things. It helps you differentiate from having that reputation of someone that has a business and they have the professional reputation versus someone's not taking their business seriously. So you want to be mindful of that. Complying with IRS regulations. I don't think anyone wants Uncle Sam coming after them for not doing things correctly as a business owner. That would not be a good day. So you want to be mindful of that as well. And then in order for you to be successful in the business side, got to make sure the personal is taken care of as well too. So paying your bills at home, that's very important. If you have bills that are separate from the business, you want to pay that. Um, growing your retirement fund. So a lot of business owners are so focused on the business, and that's great, but they're not saving for retirement. So you want to have things set aside for retirement as a business owner because eventually you worked hard. When you get to that wise age of wisdom, you want to enjoy the fruits of your labor. You don't want to be working and then you close in your business. It's like, I get a part-time job, be a greeter at Walmart to make ends meet. You don't want to do that. So be mindful of that. You still want to support your household for any bills that you have, and then reach your personal goals. If you have personal goals, we want to make sure you reach those goals and be able to help you. So those are some things that you want to keep in mind. All right. So, and one of the comments it talked about separating your personal and business finance. That is very important. So the first thing that you want to do, if you're starting a business, you want to get a EIN number. So if you go on irs.gov, get that number set up. Once you have that number set up along with your documentation saying you're registered with whatever state that you're in and your business paperwork, you want to go into a bank and open a business checking account and request a debit card. That debit card is going to give you access to be able to make purchases, make deposits into the ATM. You want to do that. Once you have that open, you want to open a business credit card. Now, your business credit card is subject to credit approval, obviously. So if you know my credit may not be that great, then maybe it may not be that time in there to open that business credit card. That's fine. But we recommend doing that because opening a business credit card, in most cases, you need 2 years of income to get any type of business lending. With a business credit card, they're not looking for 2 years of income. So if you have good credit and you have the personal income, you can open a business credit card and start building your business credit that way. So let's say within 2 years, I'm making good money, my cash flow's great, I'm using the credit card, I'm paying it on time. The bank is going to see that and be like, okay, we can take a chance they want to apply for a loan or a line of credit. And this is the biggest one I see a lot of business owners. Pay yourself by transferring your salary from your business account to your personal account. please, 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 as a business owner, even something small, pay yourself. You want to show you're getting income from the business, especially if you go for any type of lending. The bank is going to ask you, how much are you taking from the business? Even if you're taking that transfer into your personal account and maybe you're putting back into the business, that's fine. You want to be able to show a paper trail that you are paying yourself. So please be mindful of that as well. All right. So what am I going to need to open this business account? Well, there's a couple of things that you are going to need. So for each business owner, so whether it's you have a partner, multiple partners, whatever the case may be, each business owner is going to have their social security, their date of birth, their personal address, a government issue ID that is not expired because a bank will not take an ID that is expired, and then individual percentage of ownership. And then for the business, of course, legal business name, the federal tax ID or employer identification number, your business organization paperwork and start date, and business physical address. What I recommend, if you have all that documentation, keep it in a binder or some type of folder so that way when you go to the bank, everything's right there. You can give it to the banker, they can type the information in the system, and you know where everything is, and you're organized. I would highly recommend doing that to be able to help you. All right. So some tips for business debit and credit cards to responsible card use. So just to elaborate, with a debit card, it's attached to your checking account. So what you're spending is in that account. Once you don't have any money, you can't spend that. Credit card, think of using as the bank's money. So what's the difference with the two? Well, having a business debit card is good for everyday purchases and ATM deposits. So maybe you might have employees and it's like, hey, I need you to run out and get supplies, maybe getting gas in the vehicle, or just purchase maybe snacks if you have an event or something like that. That's a good way to have the debit card, and protects you from fraud as well too. Fraud is a very big thing we see a lot of days that people deal with, personal and the business side. So that can help protect you. So let's say you have $200 in your pocket, you're walking down the street and that money falls out and you get home, what happened to my $200? You have no idea where it is. Versus, let's say you bought something at a store and someone unfortunately hacks your card and they make a charge of $200. You can call the bank and say, hey, I didn't authorize this. I need to put a dispute in. That's a protection for you there. Business credit cards are great to use for everyday purchases. They help control cash flow. So what some business owners will do, they'll use their credit card for all their purchases, and at the end of the month, they'll just pay it off. That helps the cash flow because if they have a card that gets cash back or rewards, that's money they can put back into their business. So maybe they'll go into a savings account. Maybe they'll pay a bill. That's one way to help build your cash flow. Establish a credit history for your business. That's important. And then once again, protecting you from fraud. So here's some good tools for you to keep in mind when it comes to your debit cards or credit cards as a business owner. So we said we've been talking about cash flow. So what is it? Well, simply put, cash flow is money in minus money out. So think of money in your income sources. So that's you're selling merchandise, providing services. Vendors are paying you, things of that sort. That you have money coming in. And then your minus your expenses out. So if you're paying vendors, office supplies, tools and equipment, if you have employees, vehicles, wages, that's money coming out. Once those income minus that expense, what do you have left over? That's your cash flow. That cash flow can be going to maybe either paying down business debt. Maybe you're trying to build a business savings, so you're putting that into a savings account for the business. Whatever you're using that cash flow for, it all depends what your needs are for that business and how you're running things. But please be mindful of that cash flow. If you're realizing every month that I'm hitting in the red or I'm hitting zero, then that's an opportunity to say, where are some ways I can cut costs, or maybe increase my product or pricing that I'm paying, that I'm charging to have more income coming in. So this is an example of how to manage cash flow. So some business owners, they have one account and they run everything through that account, and that's fine. Some owners, they want to keep it separate. So this gives some examples here. So they have their primary account. So that's their everyday expenditures for the business. Some owners do a payroll account. So they know that money's separate. So when it's time to pay their employees, it's coming out of this account. they can account for it, and it's not mixed in with anything else. Some owners, they'll have a business savings account. So they want to save for a rainy day, or maybe they don't want such a large amount in that checking account, so they put it into their savings account. They'll do it that way. The other tab. So some people might have an account for their card processing, taxes, whatever their needs are, to keep it separate. So it all depends what your needs are, how you want to manage your cash flow, and how you want to structure your accounts as a business owner. Collecting money coming in. So that's cash and checks, Zelle, Venmo, PayPal, debit and credit cards and merchant services, and wires and ACH payments. Some people, they want every avenue they can as a business owner if money's coming in. So if they ain't got cash, but they got Venmo, I'll take that. Or maybe they say, well, I don't have a credit card, but I have my Apple Pay on my phone. Great, I'll take that too. All depends what you're comfortable with and what you want to take. And then making payments. So checks, I know checks, some people like, I don't write checks, but some business owners do. I say it's good to have some checks on hand because you never know what may happen. Debit cards, credit cards, bill pay wires, ACHs, and payroll services. So those are some ways you can manage your cash flow, having money in and money going out. What I would recommend, do your homework, compare, see what's a good fit for you that's going to benefit you in the long run and not break your wallet as well. A cash flow statement. So a cash flow statement can be used many different ways. Some people keep track of their finances and what's going on. Sometimes they're going to apply for a lending need as a business owner. And let's say maybe they don't have 2 years tax returns, but maybe have a year of tax returns, and they have a cash flow statement. In some cases, not always, they'll give that to the bank. But it helps you reflect operational trends, provide insight into business liquidity, project the ability to pay expenses as they become due, and identify cash flow fluctuations. So you may say, Reggie, I've never seen a cash flow statement before. Well, you do today. So this gives an example here of a cash flow statement. What I appreciate about this, it breaks it down into 5 months. So that way you can kind of see trends. Okay, am I making enough cash flow? Am I spending too much money? Maybe I don't have enough money coming in. Maybe I went a little too crazy that month on client lunches and buying stuff for my staff and things of that sort. So it kind of helps you keep track of what's going on. And here it breaks it down under cash on hand starting out. So your cash receipts, loan proceeds, owner contributions, and then it goes to cash paid out. So if you're advertising for your business, if you have business insurance, if you're giving benefits to your employees to help them, meals and expenses, office expenses, you're renting or leasing your business, travel, wages. It keeps all that in mind, and then it gives you a subtotal, and then you keep in mind any savings, escrow, principal payments, and then it gives you a cash on hand at the end of the period. So I highly recommend, if you're not using any type of budgeting tool or any type of cash flow statement, I would say start using this. This will kind of give you a background of, okay, let me keep track of what I'm doing. Am I going in the right direction? Do I need to make some changes? Maybe my my SMART goals that I'm setting for myself, I need to be a little bit smarter. So I would highly recommend to use this. It'll be very beneficial for you. Optimizing your cash flow. Some things you can do. Reduce operational costs. So is it cheaper to maybe hire someone to take some of those duties that you do each and every day? Or instead of you doing yourself, maybe I'll get an app or a software that'll help me save money. Streamline account payable and account receivable processes. Outsource time-consuming tasks. You're outsourcing those tasks. That gives you more time to focus on your business, on running it, managing it, getting more clients. Getting rid of outdated or unused equipment. Sometimes we can be loyal to our stuff. We don't want to get rid of it, but it's been sitting in the corner for 2 years collecting dust. It's not doing anything for you. So that could be a way to maybe, you know what? Maybe I can sell this and get some money for it. Or maybe I can just get rid of it. Or if another business are just starting out and it's like, well, I'll take it. I can use it. That might be a way to help you as well too. And then the very biggest one, evaluate your pricing for potential increase. A lot of times as a business owner, you have a product or a service, and it's like, I don't want to up the price of my product because no one's going to come in and buy it. I'll speak for me as a consumer. If I'm going to a business and I appreciate the product's good to me and I like it, and maybe it goes up a couple dollars, eh, okay, I'm going to spend that money. Why? Because I know the quality of the product. And if the quality of the product's good and that business owner is good to me, I'm going to help them out. So please do not sell yourself short in that aspect. And trust me, if you have to increase your product, your clients will understand. And if they say, I don't want to pay the extra money, that wasn't the client for you, and that's okay. Be mindful of that. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure you're taking care of your expenses and you're taking care of yourself. So just evaluate that to see maybe I can make a little bit more money. Some other questions you can ask yourself. What are your biggest expenses? Are there areas that you could cut costs? Are there ways to optimize accounts payable and account receivable processes? Those are things that you want to continually ask yourself to make sure you're in a good position, you're saving money, and you're not spending too much. All right. So we're talking about cash flow. Now we got our cash flow good, everything's working. It's like, maybe I want to build or expand my business. That's great. So let's talk about that. So one of the ways is merchant services. So that allows you to accept debit cards, credit cards, and mobile payments as a business owner. I know that Apple Pay, Google Pay, and Samsung Pay, they are very big ones now. I finally jumped on the bandwagon last year. And it makes life a lot easier sometimes, especially you forget your wallet, or you're running out the office to get something to eat. It's like, oh, I forgot my wallet, but I have it on my phone. I can tap my phone and purchase what I need. Payment processing, such as credit card terminals and mobile swipers. So maybe you're a business owner where you don't have a storefront. Maybe you go out to events and you're selling your product and maybe they don't have cash, but they have their card. Depending on what your needs are and what your merchant services is, you might have a reader where you can plug it into your phone or have an app on your phone where you can take payments, be able to sell your product and make money. Another good thing about customer analytics helps you understand your target market. So you might be focusing on this one area of clients, but you might be missing out on clients in this area over here you had no idea about. So that's a big help. And then transaction protection. Once again, fraud is something we see each and every day, and unfortunately, they get craftier every time. So you want to have that protection in place. What I would say about your merchant services, always start with your bank. If you have a relationship with that bank, ask them, hey, listen, I'm thinking about doing merchant services. What's the pricing? What does that look like? What I will also say too, if you have merchant services and maybe you've had it for a while and it's like, oh, it's working, it's fine, but maybe you're trying to save on that cash flow, shop around. See if the bank has a promotion. Maybe they can save you money on your processing. Always make sure that you're getting the best bang for your buck as a business owner. So some things to keep in mind. Do you need merchant services? So that's a question you want to ask yourself. Some business owners, they don't need it, and that's okay. But if you think I do need it, ask yourself, how are you currently accepting payments? Which methods do you accept so customers can pay quickly and easily? And what type of business do you have? Those are things you want to ask yourself if you think you're going to need merchant services. Borrowing. Why does a business need to borrow? So these are some examples here. So one of the big ones we see a lot is expanding or leasing a new location. So maybe your business started during COVID and now you say, you know what, I'm ready to get a storefront, but I need money. So you might go to the bank and see if you can apply for a loan. Purchasing new equipment, tools, or supplies. So maybe you're a business owner and your equipment goes out or it's outdated. It's like, oh, I got to buy new equipment. I really don't have the money for that. That could be a borrowing example as well, too. Having funds available for growth opportunities. So maybe you want to have something on hand. If there's a growth opportunity for your business and you want to jump on it and you have that cash on hand or that's funding, you have it. A big one too is consolidating existing business debt. A lot of times people want to get rid of their debt or they want to consolidate it so it's more feasible for them to pay it each month. So that can be an area that you may need to borrow as well too. Once again, you want to make sure when you're borrowing, which lending solution is going to be a best benefit for you and what's going to help your budget in the long run in order of paying that back. Because we don't want to happen to you. We don't want you to get a loan and you can't pay it back, and then the bank has to call you, hey, are you going to make this payment? Or if you have collateral, take the collateral. The bank doesn't want to do that. So just be mindful of that as well. This gives some examples of borrowing solutions as a business owner. So your small business loan. So that's borrowing one lump sum for whatever you need. So whether that's inventory, unexpected expenses, debt consolidation. Most cases with these loans, there's no collateral required. So what that means is when you go to apply for that business loan and they're looking at your income, your personal credit, because you are a personal guarantee as a business owner, and if everything lines up correctly and you don't have to put up any collateral like your house, your car, equipment, you're good to go. That's a great day to be able to go and do a business loan and not have any collateral. So that's one way. Another solution is a small business auto loan. So maybe you have a vehicle for your business and maybe you had it for so long and it's time to upgrade, or maybe you're trying to cut costs. That way, refinancing it, that's an option for you as well as a business owner to be able to have that vehicle purpose. I'm sorry, that business purpose use for your vehicle. Small business commercial vehicle and equipment loans. So this can be used two ways. If you're buying maybe a commercial truck, or maybe your business owner has a storefront where it's a restaurant and you have to buy a commercial refrigerator, a commercial oven, whatever the case may be. That's where the equipment loan will come into play. And then these loans have a fixed rate. So what that means is, God forbid, hope this doesn't happen. Let's say rates skyrocket and maybe you have like a 8 or 9% interest rate and rates go up to 20%. You're in a good situation because that rate is fixed, it's locked. So if rates increase, your rate's not going to change. It's going to be the same. That's good from a payment standpoint and knowing what you're paying each month. That's a good situation to be in. Small business real estate loan. So that's for buying or refinancing real estate for your business or for investment purposes. And then a small business line of credit. So a lot of people ask for it today as a business owner. So they want to have access to money whenever they need it. So whether it's a seasonal cash flow, expanding inventory, grabbing hold of a new opportunity, or just having it in place for emergencies, something happens for your business, those are good to have. Once again, if you decide that maybe you need a borrowing solution, talk to your banker, tell them what your needs are, and you guys can be a best fit for you for your business. Some other things you want to know. So the best type of financing depends on your situation and what you want to accomplish. So that could be a business credit card, a business loan, a line of credit. Do your research. See what's going to fit you and benefit you the most. Business credit cards are a great way to start building business credit through responsible card use. What I will say about the business credit card, there's different ones out there. So you may have a basic card where it's just, hey, I'm using this card to build my credit for the business. Or some owners like, I'm using this card, I want the perks for it. So that can be cash back, that can be travel, that can be reward points. Those are things you want to ask yourself to do your research if you are looking for a business credit card. Many business loans are unsecured, meaning they're supported by your credit worthiness without the use of collateral. Always make sure that the loan terms align with your expected cash flow so you can meet the payment terms. You don't want the bank calling you if you're not making your payments, or you get approved for this $50,000 loan, but you only can afford 30. Don't do that to yourself. You don't want to take something on and then you dig yourself in a hole and it's like, how am I going to get out of this? We don't want it to happen to you. Successfully repaying a business-related loan helps your business credit score. So the same way that you pay something down or pay it off on your personal credit and it helps increase it, same thing with the business loan. We want to help you do that. If you decide to borrow, expect that each month you need to pay interest and usually some portion of the outstanding loan balance. And then lenders may require owners to provide a personal guarantee as well. So what I tell people, if you're going into the bank and you want to apply for a business loan, make sure that your credit is good. I would ask the banker, hey, I'm thinking about applying for this loan. Is there an area where my credit should be at so I'm in a better position when I go to apply, that I have a good chance of getting approved for some type of credit? Ask your banker that question so you have an idea. That way, if you know you're not where you need to be, you're not digging your credit unnecessarily and then you're wasting your time. So ask questions. Do not feel like as a business owner, I'm not going to ask this question. It sounds stupid. It sounds dumb. Do not do that to yourself. Ask questions. The more questions you ask and the better understanding you have, that's going to help you have better knowledge, but it's also going to help that banker craft a solution for you to say, you know what, Reggie, it may not be the best fit for this type of product, but this product might be better for you. Or they might say, you know what, let's wait a month or two. You pay some things off, change some things around, and then we'll come back and revisit it. All right. So this is a very big one close to me. Protecting your business. As a business owner, you want to have protection in place because you never know what can happen. So remember these three things. Business insurance protects you against unforeseen events. Even minor mishaps can lead to large lawsuits. So you have those people out there that they want to get paid. So they might see an opportunity where it might be something small as a spill, maybe something's not strong or bolted to the wall or something like that. I can payday. Be mindful of that. At a minimum, general liability is a must for all business owners. What I highly recommend, work with insurance professionals to determine appropriate coverage for your business. I will put a plug out there for Truist. So we do offer business insurance for our business owners. So if you had insurance for a while and maybe it's like, I want a second opinion, or maybe you're just starting out and it's like, I need to get insurance, we can help you with that. And what I appreciate about it, if you say, hey, this is not in the budget, I can't afford that, okay, that's fine. Or if you already have insurance and let's say they review it, they'll tell you, you know what, you're in a pretty good position right now. I wouldn't touch it. Thank you for the business, but stay where you're at. They will tell you that. So we can help with that if you have questions or want a quote. That's something Truist can help you with. Some potential risk for insurance. So you have fire, cybercrime, bodily injury, theft, property damage, disability, missed wages, and vehicular accidents. These are some potential risk as a business owner that you would need insurance for. So some other types of business insurance, commercial property insurance. So it covers everything from building, inventory to signage, furniture. Any safeguards against loss, theft, or damage. This can also protect against business interruption insurance. So what that means is, let's take, for example, COVID. 2020, March, no one was expecting what was going to happen and everything was going to be shut down. So some business owners, unfortunately, had to shut down because they didn't have the funding or didn't have the insurance in place. So let's say if it was an owner that didn't have business interruption insurance, or I'm sorry, they didn't have the insurance in place, they can be able to run their business, pay their bills, and things of that sort. So that's something you want to ask yourself. What do I want to be protected for as a business owner when it comes to my business, besides the bare minimum, obviously? Helps against loss of income, loss of use of property due to some of these things. General liability coverage manages risk and protects your business from claims or lawsuits. I don't think anyone likes to get sued as a business owner or just sued in general. So we want to help you be protected against that. And then life and disability insurance. So this allows your business to continue operating in the event of death or disability. We never know what can happen the next day. So it's important to have those things in place. We know life and disability insurance can be maybe a touchy topic to talk about, but it's something to keep in mind. Do you have things in place if something happened to you and your family has to pay for your final costs or continue to run your business? What do you have in place for that? So that's something that you want to keep in mind as a business owner. Some other types, workman's comp. That's a common we hear about. Commercial auto insurance pretty much covers your vehicle in the event of an accident, damage, or theft. Business interruption insurance. An event caused your business to close or miss out on income. This insurance protects you. And then cyber fraud insurance helps protect your business from data breaches and other cyber attacks. So I'll give an example. I had a client when I was a branch manager. He had a clothing store in the mall. He leaves the mall, closes shop, goes about his way, goes home. Comes back the next morning, and what happens? There was a flood in the mall. The sprinkler system malfunctioned, and it ruined all of his products in the store. But what happened? He had insurance in place for that. So he was able to recoup most of his product that he lost because that insurance is placed. About a month later, the same client, he went to Los Angeles, had a showing for his clothes. He comes out, someone breaks into his rental vehicle, sold his camera, his laptop, his samples, and everything else. But once again, he had the insurance. He was able to recoup most of those things. So we may never think about it's not going to happen to me, or I don't have to worry about it. You never know what can happen. So having that insurance in place is going to be beneficial for you in the long run. So you have that protection in place. So if it, unfortunate does happen, you are covered. Just be mindful of that. All right. So time flies when you're having fun. So I know it says 3 action items that can help you achieve your business goals. So in the chat, can you tell me maybe one takeaway you got from this presentation this evening that maybe you never thought of that you can put into practice that's going to be able to help you as a business owner, or if you're just starting out? All right. Miranda said using the cash flow sheet. Yes, that's very beneficial. I would say start using that. That'll help you. We got insurance, the cash flow sheet, how to protect your business, insurance and loans, cash flow sheet, merchant services, paying yourself. I love it. Just keep it coming. Business plan. Oh, Stephanie had 3. All right, Stephanie, go ahead, girl. Definitely considering general liability insurance. Okay. Yes. So, and keep them coming in. As I said in the beginning, as a business owner, there might be things that you don't need. There might be things that you do need. But definitely the insurance, having that in place, your business bank account, business credit, I will say those things that you definitely need as an owner starting out, because it's going to benefit you in the long run and be able to help you. All right. So that is the end of what I had for everyone this evening. So we do have some time left. So if anyone had any questions, this is a great time to ask. You can put them in the chat, and we can answer them for you.
If it's easier for you to unmute and ask your question, that is great as well.
All right. Miranda had a question. What do you suggest is a good way to pay yourself? I would say, one, you want to look at what income you have coming into your business, one, and then once you pay your expenses and what's needed, we talked about that disposable income, your cash flow, what do I have left over at the end of the month? And whatever I have left over, how much of that can I pay myself as a business owner? And it doesn't have to be anything astronomically big. So if you want to start out with something small, you can do that. But I recommend, if you have an accountant or a tax person, ask them, hey, listen, this is what I have coming in, this is what I have going out, but I want to pay myself. What is a good number for me to be at to help? So that's where I will go with that. All right, so let me do this here because I don't want to miss people here. Let's see. Who do you consider your clients and how often do you communicate? Erica, that is a very good question. So my role is a little different with the bank. So my role is business development. So I'm going out, talking to business owners, prospecting, cold calling, just to make sure, hey, how can I help you? I'm one of those ones where I check in quarterly with my clients, sometimes more than that, because life can constantly change. So we talked about a month ago, might change in a couple weeks. And it's like, you know what, Reggie? This happened. I don't know what to do. How can I help? So this goes back to have a relationship with your banker. Your banker should be constantly checking in on you. How are you doing? How's your business? Do you have any questions? Do you have any concerns? Or we'll take it a step further. It might be like, hey, we got this promotion going on maybe for merchant services, insurance, credit card, a money market account. I thought about you. I think you can benefit. Let's set an appointment to talk. When's a good time for you to come in? So that's something that you want to ask yourself. How to shop merchant service accounts. What do you compare? Very good question. So you're going to compare the processing rates. So some merchant services might charge a higher rate, some might charge a lower rate. So you want to see what that rate is. And then if you need equipment, do they give you free equipment? Is there a discount? If you have a bank account with an institution, do you get a discount or a lower rate because you have that relationship with them? And then also ask, what benefits do I have in place for fraud protection, for things of that sort? You want to keep that in mind. All right, I'm trying to keep the questions as they're coming in. What are the pros and cons of getting a business loan versus a line of credit? Sorry. When pursuing a new opportunity, I'm creating an online course for my coaching business. So the pros and cons of a business loan versus line of credit. So what I would tell you, a line of credit is something that if you pay it, you can use it again. So let's say, for example, your line of credit is $10,000. You pay down $5,000 and it's like, oops, something happened. I got to draw from that again. You can. Versus a business loan, if you did a loan for $10,000 and you get that $10,000 right after that loan closing, you got to pay all that $10,000 back if you want to borrow from it again. So I would say it all depends what your needs are, how you're going to be using the business funds. But I wouldn't say there's any the pros and cons. I would say versus using it again versus having a fixed amount and just having it given to you, that is the difference. So you just want to be mindful of what you're buying, what your plans are, so you can differentiate what's the benefit for you. These are great questions, guys. Please keep them coming. Donna, please review what is needed to open a business checking account. Will we get a copy of this so we ensure we have everything we need to take to the bank? So Allie should have sent out a workbook. So in that participant workbook, it'll have everything in there that you need, but I will go over it again with you right now. So of course you're going to need, if it's just you as a business owner or partners, you want your valid ID, address, physical address, your date of birth, your social security, and a good contact number. For your business, you're going to want your EIN number. Whatever state your business is registered in, you're going to want that certificate of formation saying that I'm registered with this state. And then whether it's an LLC, whatever corporation, you want to bring that paperwork with you. And I will say this too, I didn't touch on this. The bank will verify to make sure that you're registered with the state. So if you say I'm registered and they go in and say, I don't see it, you want to make sure that your information is up to date and is showing on that portal. Because if it's not showing 9 times out of 10, they're not going to want to open that account because they don't see it on the state website. So keep that in mind. Joyce, how do you know which insurance company to choose? I would say it all depends what they're giving you. So let's say you need general liability for your business. I would say do your research. What's the reviews? Is this in my budget? Is this not in the budget? Am I getting the best bang for my buck? Is the coverage great? Those are things you want to ask yourself. Latrice, if I butcher your name, forgive me. Do you do an owner's withdrawal or do a W-2 as an employer? So what I will tell you, that's a specialist. So if you have a tax person or an accountant, I would ask them that question to give you the best correct answer for you to figure out what's going to be the best fit for you. All right, I'm trying to make sure. Is there a way to establish business credit, then apply for business credit cards? Establish a gas card for your business. So they do offer those. Sometimes, and once again, do your research. You might have that gas card, but it may not be helping it as much I recommend, if you're starting out with business credit, do a major credit card like a MasterCard or a Visa, because that way it's a major card, it's reporting. You want to make sure that it's reporting to the credit bureaus, because some of these cards, they may not report to the credit bureaus or all of them, so you want to be mindful of that. But some clients do use a gas card. They might do a store card. That can help you kind of start building that credit. So that's one way you can do that. What benefits does the bank have for small minority businesses? Great question. So Truist offers something called Operation Hope. So Operation is a nonprofit that helps people with money management, credit, things of that sort. And that's a free service that we offer. So once again, it's important to do your research. Your bank asks questions, because sometimes they do offer products and services that can help you as a minority business if you are starting out. All right, let me go back up and make sure I didn't miss anything. What is just a good way to pay yourself out from your business? So you can either do a transfer, you can write a check. It all depends. You just want to show some trace of you taking money out of that business account and putting it into your personal accounts. So there's no right or wrong answer. It just all depends on how you do it. I will say it makes it easier if you have your personal account at the same bank where your business account is, because you can just transfer it. But like I said, it all depends. The importance of having a DUNS number. It's good to have it. It's not a make or break you, but it is something that you can have to kind of help you as you're starting out with the business. Some banks will take that into consideration, some banks won't. But it's not a situation where it's like, I have to have this done the Bradstreet number. It's not going to hurt you either way. Is an LLC insurance? So LLC is not insurance. It all depends how you structure the business. So if something was to happen, there's protections in place for you versus you just being a sole proprietor. So once again, that goes back to, you have an accountant or a tax professional. You want to ask that question, be like, hey, is the LLC a good route for me? Or should I be doing another type of business structure? All right, so that goes back to there. Perfect. So this is what I'm going to do. I know I put my information in the beginning here, but I'm going to put it in the chat again for everybody. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. If you're interested about Truist products, or depending where you are, if you're in Truist's footprint and it's like, hey, you know what? I want to set an appointment to go talk to someone. We can connect, and I can definitely get you in contact with someone if you're interested with the insurance, a credit card, a business loan, or anything like that. I can definitely help you with that.
Okay. And Reggie, I did get a question in a DM about, let me see here. Is there a template for the cash flow sheet?
Yes, so that cash flow sheet should be in that workbook.
Okay.
Yep, it should be in there.
Okay, great, thank you.
Everything we went through in that presentation this evening is in the workbook. So if you have any questions, you missed something, it's like, oh, what did he say? Everything's going to be in there for you.
Great. All right, thank you, Reggie. Any other final questions before we start to wrap up today?
Can you show the stuff for the workbook? I didn't get it.
Let me see if I can add it in here. Let's see.
Well, also, I will also resend out the workbook when I do follow up as well, Christine. So if for some reason we can't get it to you right now, you'll be able to get it afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as everyone's registered for this event, they'll get the workbook.
All right, I just added it in there, so hopefully it comes through for you. But everything's in there for you.
Great, I see it on my end.
Okay.
Lovely. So with that, we have a couple extra minutes to give back to you today. As I said, I will be doing follow-up email with the workbook as well as some upcoming events of ours, and also to remind you of our business financial literacy workshop next week. So we hope that you will be able to attend next week, and we will also record, we'll also include the recording for this session in my follow-up as well. So you'll have access to that moving forward. So with that, in the chat, I'm gonna include a quick link to our next orientation and business assessment. So if you're interested in learning more about what WBEC-East does, if you don't know too much about what we do, please feel free to attend that. It's virtual and pretty brief overall. So hopefully you'll be able to make that. And moving forward, we will record all of our upcoming sessions, but you have to be registered in order to receive them. So just a heads up there. So with that, look out for my follow-up here in the next day or two with the workbook, the recording, and any other materials. And Reggie, just want to thank you again for being here today and for leading this series for us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. It was my pleasure. Look forward to next week.
Of course. All right, well, we'll
Thank
see
you.
you next week. Enjoy the rest of
All
your
right.
day.
Thank you.